Hey team, welcome to our channel. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad you took the time to visit us. We just broke 100 subscribers. That's a big milestone for a fairly new channel. And I'm really glad to have all of you. It's so nice meeting you in the chat room, getting to speak to every single one of you, answer some questions about the charts that you may be having, answer some questions about the different technical analysis that we see on a day-to-day basis. I love providing that information for you to see, and it's really nice to see the price unfolding and hitting the lines, very, very accurately. And, seeing price move while you have the map in front of you just changes everything. It changes the whole game of technical analysis. So when you're looking at price, and I'm really grateful that you're taking the time to watch these videos. In just a few moments, we're going to be starting to go through the charts, and you're going to see my screens. I'm going to be showing you a few things about XRP. Today, we're just going to cover XRP. At the end of the video, I'm going to get into some more tutorial stuff. So you're going to see me talking about the how to put on the volume averages, and then just more drawing. But during the video, you're actually going to also see some more drawing. So I want to show you some very nice things on why I believe we are now at a support point, and it may take a little bit of time before we get our next signal down as we continue our journey down to 25 cents XRP, after which that's where I personally believe that we are in the hold zone. I believe that that after that price point, I don't think, I think the windows of trading are going to close for XRP at those price points. It's very likely we're going to hit that this month, before the end of the month. I'm getting that question a lot. Just looking at the speeds of the charts, seeing how fast we're falling at the rate of speed. When I was first, if you haven't seen my videos before, you can go ahead and take a look at my videos. Some people call me crazy when I call the tops, but I was also the same guy who called Bitcoin at 56,000, and I called it a few times on the way down at very key areas that we were going to be crashing. And the reason I mentioned Bitcoin is, even though I don't trade Bitcoin, what happens in Bitcoin happens in the rest of the crypto world. So we pay attention to what happens in Bitcoin. XRP moves in sync a lot of times, and lately we've been seeing a lot of the same setups on XRP as well as Bitcoin. So we've been seeing a lot of sell areas, and Bitcoin's been hitting our targets. I'm very excited about that. I opened up a new, and before I get in the video, I did open up a new Telegram and a new Patreon. So let me tell you first about our new Telegram. So on JSong's Chartroom, you come into the Chartroom, you're going to see my post. Every time I post a post, you're going to see it there, and it's going to be pinned at the top. You just click on pinned if you're new to Telegram. That's where everyone comes together as a community. Everyone's asking each other questions. You can ask me questions. They're free. Feel free to ask questions there. I also open my own just page that is not open for comments, that just has my post, so that if you missed out on a post, you can click on my name in any of the of my last post, and you can quickly scroll up through my available charts that I may have available. You're going to see me posting throughout the day, mostly in the morning and mostly in the evening. I'll be posting some, as well as during the day working on some videos and content for you all. I also recently just opened a Patreon, and that's for that. I want to be able to dedicate a lot more time to providing you and our team, and you viewing and you listening, and anyone who wants to join me and follow what I'm doing. I want to provide more time to dedicate to the charts that you guys are all asking for. I get a lot of requests for different charts. The other day, ETN, XLM, VET, different cryptos over the last few months that I have opened up my Telegram on JSong's Chartroom. And so I'm open that you can make a special request if you really want to. I'll take some time and honor those special requests. But as our channel gets very bigger, we just as our Telegram room gets bigger, on YouTube we get bigger. I want to take advantage of the tools that I have available to. On Patreon, it's like a website. It's like something like a Facebook, website. It's something like that where you can become a member, and then as soon as I post something, you can see it quickly on my post on the website, as well as I can offer, there's chatting comments, and it does notify me if you do, you're asking me specific questions. I'm able to post video clips as attachments. So you'll click on a picture and then click on the attachment, and it'll show it as like a quick view. So you can see my, like, if I'm, on my cell phone during the day, I'll put on, I'll just do a quick screen clip of what things I see throughout the day for a certain trade. Whereas opposed to just YouTube, I'm giving you a more higher time frame and a more higher format. During the day, I may be posting targets and making calls, very quickly. So on the chat room, everyone's been kind of following me, but we do have a lot of chat as everyone's having, and I don't want to have my my most important post be missed. If it's something that I think everyone should know about. I do have the ability to pin and notify all members, and I do quite a bit. So those kind of tools where I can just quickly send an alert out on my Patreon is very nice. And then I'm also able to give you guys exclusive content on there, which I'm going to be posting a lot of my video clips on there rather than Telegram. If you are on Telegram and you're not familiar with it, every now and then you do need to clear your cache, so that because Telegram uses your memory, and you can also set your settings so that it will only store like the last 5 days worth of information. So that's a setting if you're new to Telegram. It's a very it's a very good platform, very open. We're having a great time, and I'm so glad to meet all of you guys. So anyway, with all of that said, be looking forward to the content in today's video, and just look forward to spending some time with you, showing you my charts. Good evening, traders and investors. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's take a look at price. I want to share with you some very important things about the weekly chart, why it's so important. We're kind of starting, let's start with a little bit of a clean chart. I wanted to show you a few things. So we draw core to core, and we draw wick to wick. So if I was starting this trend line, I'm going to stop at this point right here, because it's the very height. Now this one is higher than this one. This one's higher than this one. So I'm going to put that trend line right there. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it to this point here. And you connect those two dots, and you just make sure that you're on top of those, and be as accurate as you can, and that's going to give you some points in the future. And you notice that price is sitting right here on a weekly chart. So this is very important, because price has a very likelihood that it may not go lower than this. Now we can spike as I explained in my other videos. Price can spike through many times, but it's more likely that price is going to rise here. Now what's another reason why I think price is going to find a support? Well, because price had been responding to this area in the past, and if you fail to examine what's going on in the past on these weekly levels, you're going to miss out on some very important information for your weekly. So for example, if I were to take a trend line and I were to put it right here on the top of that core, and I just did it straight out into the air, right? And I'm going to change this to a white, okay? And we're going to make that really thick, and I'm going to make it not faded, okay? What did we see here on the week of July 5th? The end of the week of July 5th, price had come all the way down here during that week and came right back up to 63 cents. So it went all the way down to 59, ended at 63. Or let's take another one. And if we move this core to up here to this core, and we extended it straight out, and if your line is too short, you can always clone it and then just match the line to your line. We see price had came through all the way down to here, but at the beginning of the week, it stopped at 62. and ended at 69. During the day, it even went all the way to 72. So we're talking a move all the way from 62 cents to 73 cents. So let's take a look at that week, the week of July 28th, around before we hit up to 72. Let's see what things we could have saw. So if I were zooming in on just say a 15-minute chart, okay, or let's do a 1-hour chart, I think it is. And I had just a quick example that I was doing from the other videos. Here's the week of July 28th. If we were to draw the supports, we would have saw there's a parabolic curve by drawing. And you can eyeball it, but it's better if you actually draw correctly. Okay, I always say learn to draw correctly. But if you were connecting this point, the top of here, the core of this, and you can just, your eyes will start to see patterns. Okay, and where you connect those lines, then you draw the sword point. Sometimes the sword point is horizontal. Other times the sword point is just parabolic. Okay, because look at that. Price went up, and then we sat on that line, support in that area. It's only logical we're going up from there. Okay, and how high did we go? We went pretty high. Okay, you see that? Okay, this is how it works. This is why it's important to pay attention to your higher time frames. And of course, then we would have looked and we would have saw some pain points right there. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Look at that. Just continue that line out. Did you see that resistance area? And then we're down from here. These are very important points. Point, point. And what would have been your confirmation? The weekly charts. So that's why I'm spending some time right now teaching you how to read a chart so that you guys can become more proficient traders. So let's go back to a weekly chart, okay? So we're examining this area because it's very important, and we see a lot of times price will react to those levels. What are some other areas that price may have reacted to? Well, how about right there, okay? Because again, this is a week. Price went up and shot all the way down. Very important lines, very important. And did price react there again in the future? Let's extend that line, match. Yep, look at that. You see how price came, sat on that line and went up. See, people who are just only paying attention to a 15-minute chart, you're gonna find that price is doing some very peculiar things, and you may miss that. You know, when I was first trading, back when I was 17, 18 years old, again, I have 19 years of chart reading experience and trading experience. I began in the Forex. There'd be times when I did my best technical analysis work, and then I just got completely wrecked, and I didn't know why. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand what was actually happening. But I realized that one of the biggest problems I ever had was not understanding how to read the basics of a chart, or how to understand the higher time frames are like a bigger fish that always eats the smaller fish. Even if the smaller fish gives it its best, a bigger fish can just wipe it out. So when you start with those higher time frames, they're going to tell you some key pieces of information, okay? And you need to pay attention to where those informations, where that information is and what it's telling you, okay? Here's some things you can look at. Let's turn this a little bit thinner. If we were to match these tops right here, look at that again. Price came up here and went up. And what is this? A wick. Price went up really high. We're talking price from 76 all the way to $1.06. Where's another one? Way back here. Yeah, that's accurate. What happened? Price hard closed against it, went up. Okay, that stopped price from moving. Just that hard close. Price went all the way down. Okay, and there was some, where you're seeing these lines connecting, you're going to see some more reasons on why there is support and why I'm spending time paying attention. Look at two reasons, two wicks up here. So sometimes where you see the wicks starting to converge, you're going to see some information not understand. That's why I'm telling everybody, look, I'm not telling everybody to sell XRP at a point right now, because right now it's very likely we're going to experience some kind of bounce in the short term. And though I know we're going down to 25 cents and we're getting to that area, I believe so. At the current moment, we're not there. At the current moment, we still have some obstacles in our way. And like, like a little sea captain or on the jungle cruise, we are, I'm trying to navigate us down to the best prices. But I cannot control price. We cannot control price. No one can ever control price. We can only navigate and we'll see what price is doing. So we see price sitting up here on its weekly and bouncing up. And as I told everybody today, people were asking me, how come you don't sell? How come we're not selling down here? Well, because that would be risky. There's more likelihood that price is going to find support out here than it would go down. So I'm buying. I had already bought in my position was auto filled at 54, 55, something like that. And even though we're down here at 52, I'm still expecting some support up here, even if just to only minimize my exposure to the negative side. I'm right now, it's more likely we're going up, so I'm not going to be in a sell position until we get a signal. Until on the sword method, we have a signal. So I'm showing you how to draw so that you can follow me at home. You can also navigate price, and you can also become a more proficient trader using whatever technical analysis you use or using my own sword method. I'm very glad to share some of these secrets with you. On my Patreon, I am planning on opening the full course and a full teaching for members of Patreon. Just be aware, this is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment and comedic purposes only. You must trade at your own risk. I eat red crayons for breakfast, and I recommend you do the same. But if you do, you get a tummy ache. That's on you. And so don't come crying to me. I'm going to send you back to your nana. Okay, so let's get back into it. Let's examine a few other things on what I see as the obstacles before we get to 25. Now, there are some supports that I see at 25, and here they are. Before we hit 25, if we went all the way down to 23, there's support there at the core. Another reason we see there was support is because if you continue that line, okay, I'm going to be exact. 1 week. There we go. As pretty exact as you can. Price came and sat on this line and was just hovering below, and then we went way up. It came down, sat and hard closed right on that line, and went way up. So now price remembers that point into the future. So all you do is just extend that line and you draw it out, and you can save it for a rainy day. We're going to make that green, knowing that's the support line in the future. Okay. Now, because price reacted to these lines very, very accurately, I'm just going to lower them because we don't need them right now. They may come into play, but right now, they're not in our immediate future. So I'm going to fade them away so they don't distract. You turn on your color and then you turn the opacity down and you fade it away. Okay. We are going to examine this area because this is an important area. Okay. Price did this. Went up, went down, went up, went down, and then went up. So this area here is directly influencing all of this area here, as I have already proven to you, and why you need to pay attention to it. So is there any more data we can extrapolate from this? Extrapolate. I think that's a made-up word. We are going to use what we did in the fib lesson I taught you on one of my other videos. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and take a look. But let's turn on our fib. Okay, fib retracement. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the wick to the wick. And then you can either clone that line by hitting the 3 dots and click clone, or you can come to the core. And now we're going to go to core to the core, to the top. Okay, so you see how I did that? This one is not correct. Let's make it accurate. Good. Okay, so wick to wick and core to core, and then we find a match. Okay, now we're going to do that one more time with this second leg. And then we're going to find some information. Let's do it. Wick to wick. Now, do another time. Find your fib retracement tool, and if you haven't, you can always long press it and turn it into a favorite or remove it as a favorite. And then core to core. And let's move it off to the side so we can see it. All right, good job. If you're following along at home, this is what I do. Now, we're finding the points where there are the most matches. Okay, now it doesn't need to be color match. What we're looking for is those lines, because those will act as usually supports and resistances. Okay, so this may look a little bit confusing, but we're gonna do it together. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm looking to see where prices match, okay, the most. So no, this is a little bit, this yellow matches this red, matches that green, but it's all kind of in its own area. These right here, they match. There's a one here, and one here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So let's draw that one a little bit. Sometimes you can get an average. Actually, it's just only two of them, but it's enough. Okay, it's enough. And we're gonna just draw this as a pink for now. Let's do another one. I'll make it really thick so you guys can see. This one, no. And this one, no. We'll get back to that one. And then, no. So, where else? What else is this going to be? There is another area you remember from my previous videos, and that's in between the fibs, halfway through. Here is halfway to here. Here is halfway to here. Here is halfway to here. Look at that. And then there's a blue. So this right here, this area is pretty close to the halfway point. It's a blue, then it's half, then it's a half, and then it's just a little bit of above a half. We're gonna take that line and I'm gonna extend that out. Was there any more halves that we saw? One, two, three, half. No, this one kind of matches in the halfway point. That might be a little important. And then half there. So we're gonna do another one there. I'm gonna clone that line. Okay, do you see how it's about halfway here from the blue? Then the next one is about halfway. So we're gonna do that. This may be not one as powerful, but it's definitely close to a halfway one. Now that I'm looking at it, it's halfway. It's not as strong. Let's turn it a little bit weaker. I turn it into a level 1 thickness. Okay, and then halfway. This one is a little bit halfway of this, but not halfway of the second ones. Okay, so you're just seeing me do this in real time. Trading is a little bit like an art. Here we got a halfway point that matches that almost exactly. So we'll also draw that one up at the top. There we go. Okay. So we have these main real points. Now let's go ahead and delete these lines. Get them out there. You don't need those on your charts all the time. Okay, you just need to know what they are and have a color so you know what they are. When you see fib matches in a fib retracement, it doesn't necessarily mean support. It often does, but not all the time. A lot of times it just acts like a magnet, the same way that our intersecting points do. Okay. I think the strongest fib match was here around 34. And so you want to pay attention for that. And here's one at 38. It's a little thinner. Here's one at 46. And then we have the resistance level here. So I'm leaving these now on our chart. So over the coming days, you're going to see that there is some resistance here, okay, at these lines, or they may act like support. You know, resistance against coming down or support. Support and resistance are really the same thing. Just depends on what direction price is coming. Before we end this video, I'm going to show you one last thing. Let's get into, you know what, before we do that, let's go over the daily chart. I was going to show you again, if you haven't been following along my last videos, if we do break down to the downside on XRP, I need price to come and make a wide swing. That's what I want. Otherwise, it may be just a spike. And then, just like these, price spike through, oh my gosh, the world's ending. No, not yet. Okay, there's going to be a time to trade, but not yet. Okay, so I would want price to make a wide swing and then come up. We may sneak past it, but it's more likely we're just touching what we needed to touch to fulfill those buy orders and sell orders. So price would fall until those levels, and then we may get a spike back up. How high we're going at the current moment? I showed you guys in an earlier chart. Let's see if we can cover that real quick, because I did want to show you guys another thing. The next support, these three candles line up pretty well. So we're looking at this level right there, which is 57.61. Okay, that's the level I'm looking at as the resistance level. That means that if price comes up to those levels, then I would expect price to okay, if price comes up to those levels right here at 57, there is a high likelihood that price will come down. We do have a sword cut at the 57 level. It's on my chart. It's on my Patreon. It's on our Telegram group. You can follow me for a play-by-play as we get up to that point, which I believe we are going to get to that point. You can follow me on Patreon, become a member if you want to join. Any donation of any kind is enough to become a member, I believe, on Patreon. I'm not really sure how it works, but you're able to see all of my content live throughout the day, and you don't have to just wait for me to post a few videos here and there throughout the week, but you can actually be seeing my live trades and live screenshots as I'm making calls, drawing on actual photos of my screenshots live, okay? But I do expect before we can hit that 25, we need to have a bounce. The price is like a really big man jumping. You can't just slide through the floor. However, if you jump high enough and then you land, it's strong enough sometimes to shatter floors. And so when you have these floors, you're going to need a big wide bump. So price tried to come down here, couldn't do it before. Okay, gosh, it couldn't do it before. It needs to bounce and then come through. So it's like a fat man. He's trying to jump, but if he doesn't jump high enough, when he lands, he won't be strong enough to break the floor. But if he jumps high enough, he can break through that floor and hit the next floors coming down. Okay, and so now I believe we need another bounce up before we can come and shatter this weekly line, which I think we will. I think we'll shatter it, and I think we're going to shatter it before the end of this month. Okay, that's what I think. Price does intersect here. That's where price intersects. So there's a chance that if we go up and we come back down, and we coming down to that area on this is the week of August 30th. If we're going to August 30th, we may be poised for a buy. Of course, by then, I do expect price to actually break through here, because that is very, very far into the future. So if price was on the underside of that line, price may come up to that point and come down. So on a weekly chart, there's some very big things that can happen, and this could actually take a little bit of time. Okay. August 30th. So about a month from now, we may, once you see price hit those intersections, then we come down. But these are mostly for reference because price has been moving very quickly, so it may not react to those intersections. But I did want to make you aware of how they work, and I did want to make you aware in case they do happen. Okay, so yeah, so anyway, be watching very closely with Price. Follow us on our Telegram, join our chat room, what I call our chart room, and make some friends. Have a good time. Thank you for all the subscribers. I'm glad to hit 100 subscribers for people who are following my charts. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you. May the Lord be abounding to you in grace. May He lift up His countenance towards you. And may He give you peace. Friends, I always recommend that the best decision you can always do is give your heart and your life to Jesus Christ. He'll never leave you. He'll never forsake you. He won't let you down. He offers the best gift, which is the gift of eternal life. And thank you for spending this time with me. Have a great day.